Morning, well it's Monday and we're back here at same place as I was Saturday, where we discovered that this installation 8 RCDs. I put 2 in and they both failed within half an hour. So what I ended up doing, because they needed their electricity off, was back rating it in safety standards anyway, by replacing the one RCD with a Hager isolator. Hager M2 is Proteus under a different name, so Proteus fits this board, and Hager I found fits for M2, so luckily I had a Hager one in the van. Although we're going to have to swap back to a Proteus. So I also went through, just because we lost memory cards, so you couldn't see any of this, switching off the MCBs and switching them on again, and then finding there was no continuity, even though on the MCB when it was switched on. And that arcing that we heard, quite pronounced arcing, was coming, I think, from one of the MCBs. So it's a 32 ring MCB, which I've replaced with an M220, which I had in the van at the moment, so on a ring. So that's why when I show you this, that's why you'll see an M2 there. I've gone along the top in pencil, also took earth leakage currents for all the circuits, and notice on a couple of them they're pretty high, the downstairs lighting. So I'll just show you that now. We had on the garage submain, we had 25 milliamps earth leakage. That was fine, cooker and whatever that is. Then we have 40 milliamps on this one, 65 milliamps on that one, which were middle floor lights and downstairs lights. The middle floor lights and downstairs lights. 40 and 65 milliamps on that. Rest were all fine, and then we got 10 milliamps on the boiler and the boiler and immersion heater, I think that is. Yeah, that's right. So that needs a bit of investigation. I've just finished the last downstairs ring. That was fine. There was a faulty light on it with a transformer that was giving me neutral earth faults of 0.36 ohms. So I've unplugged that, and that's come up fine. It had a faulty socket on it with exposed live parts, or, well, not quite exposed, but the plastic was broken, so I've replaced that socket. These, when they were switched on, when we had the RCD, they were causing the RCD to operate. So we have a big problem here in that we can't replace the RCD at the moment with these earth currents. I spent a good number of hours on this circuit on Saturday. In fact, I was thrown out of the house at the end by about 6 o'clock because we just needed to get on with Saturday evening. I'm not intending to go back to that one, do any more investigation. We found that the kitchen downlighters are non-fire rated, and yeah, the downstairs light circuit is a major problem with that earth leakage, especially as it's causing the next door RCD to trip, which I haven't quite got my head around. I tried to do a bit of research on Saturday and I can't find a reason for it. So yeah, we've got, I need to work out the diversity as well, and just see, you know, how the diversity is on this board as well, but I could do that in the office. So now we're heading up to the second floor. It's got its own board, and fingers crossed there'll be no, along with that MCB downstairs that didn't give continuity when it was switched on. We've now got a main switch here that won't go further down than that, and I've just tested it with a voltage tester and it's not off, so that isn't functional. So the board remains live with that in the down position as far as it'll go. Never mind. We'll start with the floor lights. There's attic lights, attic ring and floor ring, so hopefully quite a quick board to do. RCD test on there. We've already done the R1, R2 for the sub main up here, so just crack on with that. I would put it, I wish I could do like Thomas Nagy, he does a time lapse, or Nick Bundy time lapse, but so I'm just going around doing the sockets now, the R1, R2 on the sockets. I think I might have the wrong socket ring, must be doing the attic. I'm doing the attic sockets, bother, the attic sockets. So this house apparently used to be an old people's home, along with two others in the road next door, and they bought it and didn't bother to get an electrical survey. It had a posh fire system, so they assumed everything would be all right. And to be honest, I suppose I would have done too, as I did. But we've got a bit of a major problem with those light circuits downstairs. Attic, I have to go up there, don't I, to do this? But I love David Savory. I always smile when I'm watching his videos. The thing is though, David Savory, Nick Bundy, Chris at DSS Electrical, they're all up sort of in the Midlands, Cambridge sort of area, because they all went to the Coventry elects. And down here, I don't think there is anyone who does YouTube, sparking on YouTube down here. I mean, obviously I got the idea off initially watching other people doing it, but there wasn't anyone down here doing it. So I'm a bit lonesome down here, and just when I think I'm going to get a buddy to work with, buddy goes and gets other work. So, and then, to be honest, this year has been dire for me. I mean, you can see how slowly I work at the best of times, really. I'm a pretty slow worker. I'm methodical and slow. So R1, R2 here. .85. .36. 0.36. Try this one again. Not be 0.85, can it? Oh, it's going all over the place. 0.45. 0.45. Bit of IR now. Between earth and line. Got nothing between earth and line. That's alright. Well, okay, nothing there. Got anything between earth and neutral? Nothing there. Okay, something's plugged in, isn't it? I was watching Artisan Electrics last night. Nice little tool tour. He loves the Pro Pack stuff, which is what I use. So I'm with him on that. And what else? Yeah, knives. talked about a Stanley slider, which I must look into. I've just been getting the CK electrician's knives, and they do me fine. But it's true, you do need a knife in every tool bag, really. And it was interesting to see that he managed to use a tool bag, a really small tool bag, to carry most of his tools in. It was a freebie from ProPack, a little pouch. Now I've got my 2 backpacks, they're quite capacious, they're quite big. We've got some 1.5 going into 16 amp. I'm usually a 16 amp MCB here for the light circuits. They're all MK. So I can't understand how downstairs the RCD is flicking because of circuits that are on the other part of the split board, which is, I don't know, if I could get RCBOs in there, it's not even as if they're going to hold, because you've got 40 and 60 milliamps on those 2 circuits, so there needs to be investigation there anyway, and that's all under the floor, light circuits and things, so I'm not going to do that. I was going to try and get everything sorted so he's got a clean EICR, because he's getting this done for the client. It's somebody who's buying the house, he's not even doing it for himself. And the person buying the house here is, I think I mentioned, a housemaster from my old school. Possibly the last person to touch this was me. I put in this, well, I altered it from some scrappy surface mounted trunking, mini trunking, and this wasn't terminated properly, so I put a metal clad in instead of the plastic that was there, terminated the metal clad to the shed properly, and then I put this conduit in. I notice I've used metal clips above the door, even though it was before the 18th edition. I suppose that was, I don't know if that was current then. And then that went into here, and I put a RCD in here and an RCD in here, and it's all labelled quite nicely. So I'm hoping that this will be alright. However, I'm getting quite a lot of, can't remember what, but I'm getting earth leakage from this submain, and I suspect that where it comes through from the house here, this, last time I saw it, was quite damaged. It seems to have been bodged up since then. I don't know if that was... Yes, it's just a Patras box with some a blanking plate put on it and siliconed. So we might be getting a bit of moisture in the system there. And then it comes out, you've got the armour, which I reconnected and I re-terminated in here as well. It might warrant, rather than exporting the earth, I think I said it might warrant putting its own electrode in. And then this board here, but this wasn't terminated properly either, so I put the banjo on underneath there 2 or 3 years ago. So we'll see how this checks out. I'm about to do the 3 ring tests for here, so that's why I've got this all unplugged. I've just realised why I put this in and moved these all about. For the sub-main, when I reconnected properly terminated the armour and everything, I put in this 20 amp for the, because it's only 2.5 sub-main, there's 20 amp RCD MCB and a 100 milliamp main switch RCD here that only applies to the submain, and then I shoved everything else onto a 30 milliamp for the garage, 30 milliamp RCD. I hadn't actually clocked that straight away, but it does say main switch and submain RCD on there. So I've also measured the earth leakage across these, and I've only got 2.8 milliamps. So the double figures milliamp earth leakage that I was getting from this submain must come from further upstream. Hence my suspect that Patras box by the back door there. So sorted that. Not sorted the problem, but we know about that problem. We kind of narrowed that down, unlike the light circuits, which need further investigation to kind of pinpoint where that earth leakage is coming from, whether it's a nail in the wall or something like that. It really bugs me that RCD on the main board was tripping due to circuits that weren't hanging off it, that were hanging off the main switch instead. That's really freaked me out, and it's made me not want to touch that board again at the moment. I'm getting a bit of a thing about it. Okay, so we've got the rings here, we've got the lights here, and then go into the shed. Okay, on the ring then. No CPC continuity. Oh yeah. I know I've said I prefer these old ones, but I've just had a comment about the use of these without the Crocs on. Obviously they don't come up to GS3. Okay, 0.49 on that. R2, RN, 0.33, and R1, 0.33. That's fine. Point 20. Point 17. Might as well take a ZS and a RCD reading here. So connection error. 3 low. Ah, that's why. Need another lead. Yeah, so what the comment was about was these, and the same for the old Mega, the banana clips on the end, and I'm not using them with a shroud as for GS3. He said please put a shroud on them because they don't come up to GS3. Well, I'm still not doing it, so I'm being a bit of a cowboy here. The ZS of the socket ring between 10 and 15 seconds on this Mega 1730. 0.82 minus 0.1 for to 0 the leads, 0.72, and then the 0.72 on that, and let's see where we get with the LNN. RCD test. It should only be this one that goes, not this one. Okay, have we got all of them there? Here's the 99. 0 degrees at 1, 26.4. 180, 39.1. 0 degrees, 20.8. We haven't got 180 degrees at 5i. 0 degrees, and we don't have 5i. Let's try 5i at we've got no. And we've got no. Ah, this one's gone off. That's why. 5i and 8.91. Change that to 180 degrees. 17.6. Alright, we've got two socket radials plugged into, shoved into a 16 amp MCB here. So do the first one here, second one there, and that's the R1, R2. Two radials turn out to be a ring, just in different coloured cables. So that's 0.26 on the little R1, little R2. Yeah, 0.26. That's 0.16. That's 0.26. That's a bit more than that. Once for the R2. And the neutral, which is differential colours in the neutral here. Six again. I had an appointment in Bournemouth, but I hadn't heard from the doctor concerned. 0.17.